It's my privilege this evening to introduce the recipient of the Salvos Prelorentzos Peace Award, Reverend Audrey Brooks. I met Audrey probably at least 10 years ago or so, or more. And Audrey is an incredible woman. She is a Renaissance woman in the truest sense of the term. She does so many different things. She's always a presence. She's always there. She's always there to help. She's always there to support. I probably met Audrey first as part of the Raging Grannies, of which she is an active member. And I also know Audrey through her genocide memorial garden and ceremony that she founded and has at her home, and just celebrated its 10th anniversary, which is an amazing accomplishment. Audrey came to Edmonton in 1969 as a mature student and a single parent from Flin Flon, northern Manitoba. After 20 years of teaching, she obtained a master's in divinity from Bangor Theological Seminary in Maine, USA. Her community degree had a strong emphasis on human empowerment and social justice, which has informed her actions ever since. She is a pastoral minister at the Unitarian Church of Edmonton, and some of her many activities are, and I found this very interesting because I didn't even know about a lot of these things, the Women's Wellness Advisory Group, Grey Nuns Community Hospital, the annual Genocide Memorial Service, the Raging Grannies, a spiritual counselor for LGBTQ2S youth at Camp Firefly and Dragonfly, and was an extended mother to a trans youth for 24 years. As a U of A chaplain, she helped found the Pride Alumni Chapter and offered spiritual support at the TRC hearings. And she serves on the board of the Capital Region Interfaith Housing Initiative, and we are also both board members at the Edmonton Interfaith Center as well. So I think you all have a really clear idea at just how wonderful this woman is and how deserving she is. Audrey, congratulations.
I think I'm speechless for the first time in my life. Those of you who know me. You know, as I look out over here, over the congregation, the audience here today, I find that there are so many peace activists here that I feel like I'm just a cog in the wheel of peace activists and people who work for social justice. I could name names, and Mike, Pat Seal, and all of these people. There are more peace activists here than there are in any single place. And I just want to thank the Salvos Prelorentzos award people and Project Plowshares. This is poofing on me. Why is that? Because I'm poofing? Oh, I'll have to back away from it.
Back away a little bit.
Brian always lectures me on my use of the microphone. Thank you for giving me this award in acknowledgement for the work that I do to actively work for human rights, and for the 10 years that the Genocide Memorial Service has been held to honor and to act as witness for people who died from violence caused by planned attacks on them. As I said, I'm one of the cogs in this huge wheel of peace activists that work endlessly to stop war and to salvage the lives of those who suffer the terrible results of powerful and uncaring forces that do not see the humanity of the people that they're destroying. I ask, how is it possible that governments and leaders could call people vermin and rapists and terrorists and other names, classifying them as subhuman? And how is it possible that families could be deprived of their lands and subject to torture, rape, forced to be child soldiers, or taught that blowing themselves up will lead instantly to going to heaven? How is how is it that those tired and poor and abused people who are turned into refugees that have to flee their countries are driven out and shot at and insulted by citizens, inflamed by speechifiers whose agenda has nothing to do with justice, compassion, or the rights of humanity to peace, safety, and well-being. The identifiable steps to genocide are identifying a group by religion, politics, or their nationality, and calling them different, labeling them with hijabs and pink triangles or other symbols like the Star of David, dehumanizing them by using hate propaganda so that people will see them as subhuman, which justifies murdering them and specifically organizing attacks on them by mass killings, and then denying the fact that these things are actually happening. Unless you think that is not going on today, I'm sure that those of you who are listening to the news on the radio and on the TV know that we are living in these interesting times, as the Chinese used to say. The Wheel of Peace activists here for years and years have worked to change this picture. The Edmonton area in particular, because that's the area I know. We have, of course, Project Plowshares, the Mahatma Gandhi Foundation. I know Jitendra and I have met many, many times over different issues that have been raised about social justice. The John Humphrey Society Center for Peace and Human Rights, Amnesty International, the Memory Keepers of Rwanda, and other cultural groups in the city who hold annual memorials for those who have been lost through violence. The Idle No More people and the missing and murdered Aboriginal women organizations. The Raging Grannies, of course, Bent Arrow Society, the Mennonite Center for Newcomers. Only a small list. And as I said, as I look out over here today, I see faces of many, many people who have put their time and their thoughts, their efforts, and their feet on the floor and got out there to do similar things to what I do as being one of those small cogs in this huge wheel of social justice. My inspiration came from the radio spots I heard as a child of Lotta Hitchmanova. Anybody remember Lotta Hitchmanova, 54 Spark Street? Yes, yes. Well, I was born in 1940, and as a child I heard the announcements on the radio where Lotta was calling for support, financial and so on, for the children and the orphans and those who were destroyed physically, emotionally by the war, the Second World War. And I liked the way she spoke. It was like almost your aunt or your grandmother speaking to you. And that was one of my inspirations for developing, I think what we would call a soft heart for anything that moved or hurt, or as my mother said, I was rescuing creatures and things when I was quite young, and I think it was because of Lotta. She was such a powerful tiny little thing like that, Unitarian, and the organization, since she is gone, is one of the heritage seeds keepers. They're protecting the ancient seeds from patents by corporations such as Monsanto. So that was one of my inspirations. And I know that Margaret Mead, and I'm paraphrasing here, said that if each person does one small thing to make a change, then those changes will happen. And I'm, like I said, so glad to see so many people here that are, like me, are those little cogs in that wheel. And it is my appreciation of receiving this award to do it on behalf of all of you who stand where I am standing here and being recognized. But we are all doing the work together, and let's keep on doing it. Thank you.